Yo, what up? Back at it. We have more reveals, ladies and gentlemen. We have just a ton. I have missed a couple days, and boy howdy, UVS Games has these firing out so quick. 18 cards a day that we have to get through. I've got all of these tabs that you can see at the very tip top of my screen, and 2 videos from today that I'm going to be watching. Please go and support the original creators who made these initial reveals. You can find that over all on UniVersus Games official post, but I'm just gonna rock it. We're just gonna rock it. And so let's start off with Elder Toguro. 7 hand size, 20 health character. And chat, you guys can. Oh, I have to change where my poll is. I'm actually just gonna do this then. That's fine. We're here. Love it. Let's talk about it. He has the death, evil, and life symbols. Form once per turn, discard a non-foundation card, choose one attack in your discard pile and try to play it as your next form, period. So you can discard actions, assets, or attacks to go find a different attack and attempt to play it. It is a form once per turn, so it does not have to be the first thing that you do. It can be in any order that you want. So if you have a cool combo card, like using the combo keyword, or a setup card into a payoff card, you can go find those. And then enhance : switch this attack speed damage, period. If it's your rival's turn, destroy 1 foundation. Now, I thought this ability was kind of bad until I realized that it doesn't have the 3 words that switch this attack speed damage normally has, which is once per turn. You can do this as many times as you want. You can switch every attack that you play. You can switch every attack your rival plays, as long as you're willing to destroy that foundation. I think Elder Toguro is neat. I think he's cool. I don't know quite how good he is, truthfully, because that switch speed and damage is normally reserved for like a defensive ability of like, I'm going to switch the speed and damage of this move. I'm going to block it easier or whatever. And the destroy of foundation cost is fairly high. Like it can certainly be a little high, depending on like what turn it is and so on and so forth. And so like there's something there. I do like the fact that we can switch the speed and damage on our attacks, right? There's a lot of versatility in that ability. And then the form, it's hard to calculate like how good that is, because it really depends on like how many actions and assets you want to put in your deck, because 9 times out of 10 you don't want to discard an attack to go find a different attack, right? You just like unless it's like I'm grabbing a throw, right, or something along those lines, or there's a card for the job, right? As we're gonna see here in just a little bit, like he has an echo move in his kit, and so like I'll discard this 1 attack to go play 2 attacks is pretty good. I think it just really depends. But yeah, I think that this character is going to be very cool, very fun at deck building. Speaking of, let's look at his kit. We have Finger Daggers, 4/3, 2 high block, 3 mid for 6, has the keywords Fury, Ranged, and Weapon. A lot of keywords, a lot of keyword traits. Enhance: if this attack deals damage, draw 1 card, period. So it's a slow 3 mid for 6, or if you want to in your character, it's a 6 for 3 that draws you a card, right? This card is neat. I think that any character that can give any amount of speed is going to love this card, right? When you look at like this has a symbol for like Hawks is able to give this card speed and get to draw bonus cards. Yeah, I like any amount of speed, but the thing that jumps in my head is like Ochako 2, right? That character is rotating whenever the set comes out, but like if Ochako 2 had access to this card, it's a 4-diff 5 mid for 6 that says you draw a card. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So like if you can give any amount of speed to Finger Daggers, whether it is using Elder Toguro to swap the speed and damage so that it can connect, or using abilities, I think this card is going to be useful and playable. It's probably one of the best uncommons that I've seen so far, because draw 1 card is very good in our card game. It's good. Up next, we have Shapeshift Decoy. Shapeshift Decoy, 5/3, 1 high block, 6 high for 4 powerful 3. A 6-speed powerful 3 move is very good, but it does come at a bit of a high cost of a 5 difficulty. If I remember right, this might be like This is a pretty high difficulty of these like powerful moves, right? Whenever we look at Bui and Chu, I don't think that I don't remember their powerful or EX cards or whatever they were being 5 diffs. I think that they were 4 diffs. I could be misremembering. It's been a couple days. But 5 diff, 6 cipher 4, powerful 3, just like a momentum outlet. It's not bad. But it's that same idea of like, this is a 6-speed move, and so you have to find the damage for it, right? Like you have to find the damage, and it answers the question, right? Its question is how do I make this thing actually threatening? And the answer to it is just powerful 3. Not a card that you want on turn 2. This is not a card that you're going to put 4 of in your deck. And I think that the fact that these common slots are becoming that, these are not 4 ofs that you want to put inside of your deck. Your uncommons, rares, and ultra rares are your 4 ofs. I think Shapeshift Decoy being a 2 of in your deck is like not that big of a deal if you don't have a momentum outlet. It makes total sense to me. I dig it. I like the stats. I like the 5 diff. It also feels like a good opener, right? When we get a little closer to the game being more relevant, I've hit you a couple times. My momentum is there. Here's my opener. It's a 5 diff 6 cipher 4. I don't have a use for momentum the rest of the turn. I'm gonna powerful this out and make sure that you have to deal with this. You have to take some sort of action on this card. Onto the ultra rare. It is Shapeshifting Impalement. 5/3, 2 mid block, 7 mid for 3. Has the Echo and Fury keywords. 7 mid is crazy. If this attack was played from anywhere other than your hand, your rival loses 1 health, period. If this attack deals damage, gain 2 health. So, if you use Togoro's ability to play this out of your discard pile as a form, it's a 7 mid for 3 that burns them for 1, and then you gain 2 whenever it hits, because it's going to hit, because it's a fucking 7-speed move. And then you echo it. It was echoed, so it was not played from your hand. It was played from the card pool, and so they're going to lose an additional health. So this is guarantee burn them for 2, which can just close out the game. They can just win, right? And then Toguro has the added bonus of you get to swap the speed and damage. So like let's say that my opponent, we know they don't have a mid block, right? Somehow we've looked at a card in their hand, and we know that they don't have it. We just swap it, make it a 3 for 7. Huge. Moonfish could use this. Oh, that's very cool. It doesn't have those symbols. Evil Overhaul. Evil Overhaul is fine. I actually really like this in like a Kuraguri. I think Kuraguri plays this card pretty well. Of like replay it out. This is a card that like Shin Namoto would want to play, right? You can just like slam this card in your card pool and be like, you have to call mid. You have to, and I always get to play it from elsewhere. A lot of cool ideas happening here. I mean, hell, dude, like even Bakugo 1 or not Bakugo 1, like any of the Bakugos could want to play this card. This is a 7 mid opener. This is a good card. I like this card a lot, and I'm excited to see how I'm allowed to mess with Shapeshifting Impalement. I like this one. This one's cool. Last attack that we have is Surprise Daggers. It is a 3 difficulty, 3 check foundation with a 2 low block, 2 low for 3. Has Breaker 1, which is a great keyword, Fury and the weapon keyword, Enhance Mill 2, or discard the top 2 cards of your deck. This deck gets 1 speed for each copy of Surprise Daggers in your discard pile, period. And then Enhance Mill 2, this deck gets 1 damage for each copy of Finger Daggers in your discard pile. I like this card a lot. I like this card like a lot. It scales for super late in the game, and it says that your character, where are we? If you're just down to play Finger Daggers, which I am, and if you're down to play Surprise Daggers, these get massive very quickly, right? They can get +3/+3 on a 3 diff late in the game. If you have any other amount of mill, I think this card is very good. I like this card a lot. If you're down to play this like little engine of Surprise Daggers and Finger Daggers, if you're down, and the fact that it's a 3 diff that like gives itself +3/+3 is like, This is a 3-diff, 5 low for 6 at full, right? Yeah, I like this card a lot. I think this card is super neato. This is a good reaction shot from Kuwabara, though. Looks like you guys aren't into it, though, and that's okay. Adaptable Anatomy. 1/5/2 mid-block response flip. After you completely block an attack, it deals no damage. Thank goodness. We haven't answered a Jolt. Now that Jolt's gone. This card's fine. It says you have to completely block it, so like it says that he doesn't get punked out by throws. The more important thing is this card now says that Shigaraki 3 doesn't get punked out by throws. And that is actually the scarier of the options, is that Shigaraki 3 now just doesn't get punked by throws. Any of these 7-handers that we're printing a ton of, they don't get punked by throws. And I think big scary throws are going to be relevant the next set. Just looking at like what Boo does. I've got a bunch of face downs. I'll commit. My throw gets +7/+7. All right, run it. Yeah, not much to say here. Good spam. It'll probably be a 2 of in everybody's deck. And the other 2 copies will probably exist in your sideboard. Moving on. Arrogant Fighter is a 1/5/2 low block. After this foundation is destroyed, seal 1 rival foundation, period. So this is really interesting. If you have a way to seal, or if you have a way to destroy foundations under the death symbol in something like Todoroki 4, this is another seal card that you can have, right? And then enhance, mill 1. This makes sense for his kit, because he wants to have a bunch of options in his discard pile. I think this is one of those cards that if you're looking for a 1/5/2 low block, you could include in your deck, but I don't think it's really going to see relevance. Yeah, I don't think it's going to see relevance. Maybe if like your opponent is messing with the top card of your deck, but like if this card existed while we had Jiro 1 in the format, maybe we could talk about this card. But I think this card will need to find a place in the meta. Inasa after this foundation destroys seal. That's very cool. I like that. I like that, Mary. That's very cool. That's neat. Inasa gets to just do this and seal the foundation. That's very cool. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Deadly Ruthfulness. It's a 2/5/2 mid block. Enhance, check a 4, the coolest enhance that we've had so far. If this attack deals damage, your next attack this turn gets +1 damage. How awesome. So for everybody at home, the way that check a 4 works is you declare that you're activating the ability, you take and you discard the top card of your deck by making a check, and it has to pass a 4. You are allowed to commit foundations in order to augment that check. So this is not like an automatic, I press the button every time. It is, I'm discarding one without like mill, right? And sometimes I have to commit the foundation if I want it, right? I check an attack. It's only a 3 check. Am I down to commit the foundation to use Deadly Ruthfulness? Maybe. And this is a card that tactically works really well with our ultra rare, right? I play the ultra rare, and then I use Ruthfulness, and then this ultra rare hits. My next one gets more damage. This now is not a do nothing 3 damage move. It's now a respectable 4 damage move, because you know the last one dealt damage. Neat. They were thinking. Up next we have Immortal Shapeshifter. 2/5/3 high block response, check a 5. After one or more of my foundations are destroyed, gain 1 health, period. This is really interesting. You have a character kit, whatever, that is destroying foundations over and over and over again, like my opponent is. I can just gain a bunch of health, right? And then enhance, destroy 1 foundation, this attack gets +1 damage. So it asks, and again answers its own question of, how do I destroy the foundation in order to utilize the response? Well, the thing is like it does it itself. This is an incredibly strong card. This is a new flavor of Brute Strength, where Brute Strength was destroy a foundation. This attack gets 1 damage, or your attack. Excuse me, your attack. This attack. I do not remember. Gets 1 damage. I think it says your attack, and then lose a health for 1 damage. So Brute Strength potential was 2 damage, but this thing says I get a damage and I gain a health potentially, and it's making more checks and so on and so forth. This card is good. We'll be seeing a lot of this card being played. A lot of this card. And I think I only have... Oh, that was it. That was the last one. That was Elder Toguro's kit. So I have to ask you guys, do you like the kit? Elder Toguro playing the cool moves. My personal opinion is, again, deck builder's dream, right? A quote Pippa-ass character. I know that I'm excited to play this character because I think that they're going to play this card really well. And I really like this card, right? 5 diff 7 speed move for 3 that we can pump more stats on with Deadly Ruthfulness and Immortal Shapeshifter. That's very cool. I'm excited to use Shapeshifting Impalement a ton. Like a ton. Yeah. But we're going to move on. We're going to move